Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about the Magic Square MS-B39A and B40A. This is Crane Master and Load Master. This is their take on the last two. This is the last set for Devastator. This will be the last video of my Devastator series of videos, and I'm going to be comparing this to the New Age. Well, we're going to build this. We're going to turn these into the all modes, have a look at them, and then the combined mode, and then compare the combined mode to New Age combined mode. But I did get this to Shozy. I'm going to have a link down below where you can get yours, TH reviewer code, if you decide to help the Titanium Hangar out. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into taking a look at the Magic Square third set of kind of the metallic repaint of their Devastator. Coming up! First off, the box is a big box, and it comes with all these parts for combining. And so the first one was a small box, and then the second one was a big box, and this is the same size as the second one. So kind of get an idea of what is coming in when you order it. Big box, and for these little bitty guys, kind of strange. Okay, looking at them in the bot mode, we're going to kind of zip through the bot mode so we can move to transformation and building and all that, because that's going to take a lot of time. But I want to point out, looking at these, I bet you this one here, the long haul, is pretty much the same as the first reissue. Maybe some paint apps are slightly different, but looking at it, just there's not much to be metallic on this. It's kind of just kind of that green, and I would have liked a little more vibrant green, but it's actually more vibrant in person than the pictures show it to be, and probably more vibrant than even my camera's going to pick up. But this one over here, now we can see like a shinier silver, and I think this is where, when they say it's kind of a metallic, that is what is metallic. You kind of see a little bit of a shininess to silver, and I'm not 100% sure if that's paint. I think it's paint. It does kind of feel really smooth like paint, but still, it's a nice look to it, so I can live with that. That looks pretty good overall, and so both of these look decent overall. And when we compare it to a G1, it's night and day versus G1. I also kind of like the aesthetic of this, and I've always kind of liked the aesthetic of Magic Square, because Magic Square has kind of a heroic type of look going on with them, and they just kind of make these figures look really good. The one thing I don't like, though, and I'll point that out, is the way the side of the foot, I think that looks almost lazy. But it's really kind of hard to call any of the engineering on this lazy, because there's so much to it, so many tiny little panels, and we'll see that when it comes up. For the bot mode, there's really not much to speak of in bot mode for accessories, other than the fact that they have these two little guns, these laser gats, if you want to call them that, and they look okay. There's no paint on them, there's not much to it, but they're probably just going to go back in the box anyway, because I want mine in combined mode, and so that's how that looks. And I think I got the right one on the right figure. Doesn't really matter. All right, so here they are next to a G1, and you can see they're bigger than the G1, and they look way better than the G1. But where the G1 wins is a 30-second transformation, not a 20-minute transformation, but we'll get into that here in just a bit. But that's how they look, where we've come from, and where we are going, well, where we are now. And they're quite sizable, decent-sized bots next to Magic Square's Megatron, so I'll have to admit that they're good size. And part of that is because we're going to have good size combined mode. It's going to look good. I can feel it already. All right, let's not waste any time. Let's get into the transformation here, and we need to slide this foot out, and then we've got this here is going to come out, and then we are going to do quite a bit of stuff here. We're going to lift this up. No. Lift. This up here. Fold this down to form the top, and then we're going to fold this piece here in, and then it's going to come out, come back in, and we're going to tuck this bad boy into here. So there's two different hinges going on right there, so you got to use the right one to make it happen. And then we have a whole bunch of other stuff going on. This is going to flip up in the back. And then this is going to fold over, and this is going to turn into the front. We're going to do all that here in just a bit. We're going to kind of get in there quick, fast, and easy. And I'm hoping that this whole thing is going to be fast and easy. That's how I like my cars and my Transformers, fast and easy. slides out. I find it easier. Just get that up out of the way now, huh? That's kind of easy. All right, so we are going to flip this, rotate this out. And then this, okay, so this is going to kind of come up a little bit. This is going to fold up. This is going to fold out and over. And it's just kind of building the side there. And then we're going to have this. That comes down, and that's on the top. How that's supposed to look? I'll be looking at that again here in just a little bit here. And then we can fold this over and this. So this will all sort of come together like that. As time goes by, we will have that going on. We got more to do with this guy than just this, but I like kind of seeing where we're at and where we're going, and are we kind of in the right direction here. All right, so didn't really need to slide those in just yet, but I'm just kind of making sure things are still lining up. So we're gonna keep them slid out. Next thing we want to do is we want to fold these pieces. Come on, fold up. And then fold them up. Just get them out of the way for now. Do they tab into that? Maybe they do tab into that. There's a lot of tabbing going on. Now, we are going to be sliding these down, folding that over, and then, okay, this piece does go up. Make that look a little bit cleaner. So that's going to fold in. Same thing over here. So it should all work in tandem together so that we can tab these together. Now, there's also a tab right here, which seems like it's going to take quite a bit of force to tab those together. But I'm going to push all this in like so. We're getting there. I feel like something's missing here. Is it missing? Let's make sure we got all this squeezed in and tightened up, snapped together. All right, now we're going to need to open this. We're going to work on this upper body here. So let's lift this up. This should fold back. This, because of this, is going to get a little double piece right there. That's going to work. That's fine. And then we are going to open this up, pull these arms out, and kind of get them up a little bit. They do some crazy stuff. These arms about to do some crazy stuff. Lift them up so they'll fold out. There we go. Don't break your arm, buddy. Got to move these out of here. Open them up because there's a little hinge on the wheels, which they sure tabbed together okay. I didn't. And you're probably going to pop it off. That's probably going to happen a few times. Not a big deal at all. Better than like an actual break. It's not broken, it's just a thing. We're going to see that this is a slider, so you need to slide this up. This here's on the slider. We're going to turn the head around, and we're going to get ready. It's going to come back down into here when we're done with this. Now we need to get into the arms, and they're going to do some crazy stuff. They're going to fold up. You're going to break the arm like this. You're going to fold this way, and then you're going to fold it under like this. And the reason, and then we're going to fold this way. So this should work into here like that. That's how that should work. Actually, this should be a little bit closer in there. I'm not sure what's going on. There we go. And it double hinges in like so. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to fold this back into here. And we are going to turn this, and fold this over. Into here. Come on. Like this. There we go. And it should, we need to have it where there's some space between them. So these need to be slid out a bit. So there's this joint here kind of rotates. That's what's going on. And then we need to have it to where there's enough space to tuck the head through there. So there it is. And then this is going to come over like so. And we're gonna tuck this get that lined up just a little bit higher. There we go. And this is going to go into here. Okay, let's look at it from this angle so it makes a little bit more sense. This little rotation lever right here gives you room to move the arm around, but you need to make sure that it lines up to where this tab's underneath this point and that tab tabs into it, which is, it's like, gotta be just right. Just gotta be just right on both sides. So do that over here and try to get this out of the way without knocking it off. But same situation over here. We need this tab below there and that tab to go into that slot. And if I can get that on camera too. There it goes. And then these are going to just fold over and this tab goes into here. So then at this point we're going to solidify everything like this. And oh, now they hold on really good now that I'm just closing it up. That's funny. Like I said, the peg, the mushroom peg on there is not going to be a big deal once we get it all into place. And then now you just kind of go around, tighten it all up. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this guy here, turn his head around, and then we are going to need to pop this up. See, oh, that looks nice. And then we're gonna sort of just start opening up a lot of stuff on him real quick, get him moving in the right direction. This feels really flimsy right here. This piece here feels real flimsy. Anyway, let's get these up, rotate them up on this joint right here. So that rotates them up. But we got to be able to get to this. There's a little bending past some stuff to get. Maybe if we rotate this now, that'll help us get past some stuff, get past each other. But we've got to get this out of here. And there it goes. So this is the front bumper. Bumping it out. All right. So with the bumper out, now these are going to extend outward on this joint because it's going to be nice and wide. It's going to be a wide old truck, and it's going to look good actually. Pretty nice wide truck there. So the next thing we need to do. All right. So I was getting a little bit out of frame there. So next we can pull all this up. So we kind of have this whole hinge piece going on right there. And then we are going to tab this stuff in like that, like that. Come on, tab in. Should be fast and easy. And then we're going to bring this down and tab it in like so. Spread them, tab them. Clean that up. Fold the head down. Then this piece here folds out. Right here. This piece. I said it does. Then it should. This thing here is going to fold up and over, which is really interesting. They're making this thing, beefing it up through these extra pieces. I mean, the transformation, I wish it was simpler, more simplified, but some of the stuff they do is kind of cool. So then this piece comes up here and solidifies and makes the wheel well. Same thing over here. Kind of get these arms out of the way. This comes up here and makes the wheel well. Sort of plug that in, tighten that up. Okay, then we got to work on the arms. So the arms, again, they're like with this breaking of the wrist kind of thing that they like to do. And then we're going to come around here to the back. This should plug in and become a lot more sturdier when that plugs in. And this folds around to become, how do I get that in there opposite? That's right. You got to kind of pull this out, fold this around, then put it, then it should go back. To here. That's how that works. And then this is going to fold in to the inside. I had that in there all nice and trued up, but now I messed it up, so there it goes. and try to stay on camera here. All right, so this folds into here and then should tab into here like this. There. Kind of, sort of. Looks like there's a nice little tab here too. Tab that into place. All right, now we're gonna get the other side done, so maybe we can do it a little more eloquently. Come on. Mushroom peg, heaven. Fold that one up. Fold this all the way around. Because it's going to need to be folded all the way around. Because this is going to go into here. So this is going to need to be folded all the way around to here. I'm getting a little confused on it. Okay, that's how you do it. You got to kind of keep the end in mind when you're doing this stuff, or it will get a little confusing. Fold that up. All right, break this wrist. We're going to fold it up and get all this kind of worked out so that this will fit into place, and then this will fold over into it. So, and then this can tab into place. So that's kind of how all that works. Gets a little confusing. I got confused for a second there, but there we go. And now we're kind of back on track. But stuff's coming untabbed as we go, so that's not fun. But at the end, you do the whole go around and tab everything in again. Make sure it's all looking good. Now we need to do this kind of roof piece. Fold it out. Fold this out so that there's not like an empty gaping hole. And then these two tabs tab into here. That's how that works. There we go. Then that kind of pushed forward as I was tabbing this in. Tabbing. This transformation there's a lot to it, so with all of them, there's always a lot to it. All right, I think we got all of this working pretty much how it should, looking how it should. Tab this back in. Some stuff's coming untabbed as we go. And we're going to start working on the bottom of this. All right, so looking at this, we are going to split this, and we're going to be opening all this up and creating the bed. So that's how things go. Let's open that foot. Finesse. If it feels a little bit too hard to move something or do something, then it's probably, you're probably doing it wrong. So there are quite a few things. Going to fold that and make that into that piece. This is going to fold up so that we can connect. And then right here, this piece needs to come out. So we're going to double joint this down a little bit to get this piece out here. And then this is going to fold out. So trying to keep all this into perspective in a way. So this does stay flat. This is going to be just like this. Now you want to kind of lift this up so that we can get access to a couple of things. We're going to lift this up. We're going to fold this out. And then we're going to flip this around like so. And then it's going to be it's going to be the rear wheel and all that good stuff. Then we can close this back up and we fold this hip up here. Sort of get this in this position. Sort of. And all flip around. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a whole lot of fun when we flip it all around. Something like that. Anyhow, we can get the other side ready to go so we can get into all of this fun that's about to happen. But let's go ahead and split the other side up. Open it here. And then open this out. Fold this out. Close this up. Fold this up. Then kind of push this down to bring this other piece here out. And then open this up to bring the wheel out bring this little tabby piece here out, or like a filler, close back the leg up, then lift this up to here, then we start connecting the dots. So we have this little notch, tab notch thing system here going on, and then we have another notch tab thing here, and then this. And I'm gonna take a second to make sure I have everything lined up right before we start closing it up, so that we can make sure it goes without a hitch and is successful. A successful close up. Okay, so we should be right about here. I just noticed, just looking it over real good before we close it up, that I didn't have one of these opened all the way, so I did that. That was something I missed just a second ago. Next thing is you're going to need to untab. There's a tab here and a tab here, so you need to untab those because that's going to be helping with like an extra joint for closing. Oh, that didn't go off as smooth as I thought it would. There we go. Now we got to close all this back up, but this gives us an extra joint, so it's like a double jointed closure of this. And this is a big part of this whole transformation, which is why I'm making sure it's set up right. And there are probably some places it could break the figure right here if we don't have it lined up right. And there's a lot of stuff that's going to go along with this. But anyhow, now everything came untabbed. It's not as solidified as it was just 1 minute ago. I don't like that. This is solidified, and that's solidified. Okay, so kind of pull these wheels up just a bit so they help with getting a little bit extra clearance. And we're going to fold it over sort of on this joint right here, that joint that we just freed up, and not smoking it or anything. So then we're going to fold this over, and then these wheels will go through here. Keep all that together. And then fold it over. Keep folding. Why aren't you folding? This is not looking fun at all. It's not going smooth at all. This is the least smooth part of the transformation, in my opinion. So I don't know what I could have done to make it smoother, more fun and enjoyable. But it's not being fun and enjoyable. So just gonna kind of push this in. You can see where the tabs should tab in, and then all this stuff's kind of coming undone, so it should tab back together and just kind of bring it over. And I feel like this is gonna be that magic square magic moment where you force things past things, and that's just how it's starting to feel to me right now. I wouldn't call it a magic moment, but I mean, I guess I just did. But all this is going to have to get like re-tabbed together. I'm not liking that at all. But hey, it's re-tabbing together, so I guess what am I worried about? Now this and this joint needs to be fully over, so it's not fully over all the way. So there's going to be some tightening up of this, and then we have a tab like this is supposed to tab into something right here. But anyhow, we're most of the way there. I'm going to go around and just tab all this stuff in and make sure everything's in right, because it's just strange. I mean, it makes sense. It's logical, but the execution's not as smooth or fluid, or I don't feel like the execution that I just did is correct on it. So I'm going to look it over and see if there's anything that's glaringly wrong on it. This feels like it needs to be realigned a bit. Feels like it's not. I think I deal in 90 degrees. But anyway, I'll be back and we'll take a look at it. All right, so here they are. I did kind of go around and tab some stuff in on this guy all around, and it's just, I expect everything to be symmetrical. Well, symmetrical, but 90-degree angles and stuff. But hey, it rolls, so I guess I got it right. Or close enough to right. Doesn't really matter. We're only going to be looking at it for a few minutes, and then we're going to combine it. So as long as it combines right, I'm happy. Anyway, I do think both of these look very good. They are very cartoon-y. I don't know 100% if they're cartoon accurate, but they look pretty good. So overall, you could definitely say these are construction vehicles and Devastator kind of Constructicons that we've been seeing all of our lives. I think they look good for that. Lots of steps, a lot of opportunities to make mistakes and screw up or break something or something fall off, but I'd rather the parts pop off than break. But looking at them real quick, kind of a cartoony look to it. You got some nice paint right there, some paint right here. We got the front black on the front grille, silver, some front headlights kind of pieces there, a smokestack to nowhere, and then the sides got some. You got some of the stuff here you didn't see before, some kind of pistons and stuff. You got some painted rims and a big opening in the back, which I guess is okay. And then on this one here, that one looks great. I kind of feel like there's a gap here, and I feel like I kept looking to see, did I do something wrong? This feels gappy, but it is what it is. So I guess it is what it is. But yeah, overall, not bad. Now with this, I was fiddling with it, and I didn't understand it at first, but it goes all the way in. But this won't be able to go all the way in with it. If you pull this out partially, then this can go all the way in like that. And then you have some articulation right here. And more than likely, I think in the combined mode, it's going to look some sort of like a combination of the two. Like that. So, and I was thinking it looked kind of plain and empty and something was missing, but that's because the crane does go here. So, and I don't have the G1 one next to me. Now, the G1 one of this, we'll do that comparison. Yeah. And there's the G1 comparison. Isn't he pretty cute? And so as with the toy, I bet you they'll do a toy variation maybe with the toy stickers and stuff. But there are some differences here. Now I don't have this guy in the G1, but some definite differences they went with color-wise. And that was what they decided to do, I guess. So that's how that goes. But size-wise, much bigger. I mean, we're talking Legends bigger than G1. And that's just kind of how it goes. Looks pretty good. And we got Ironhide. These are way bigger than Ironhide, so I guess they should be though. So that works. And then Powerglide. Powerglide, you're a little small. You got a bigger Powerglide? Fans Toys Powerglide. I just don't feel like transforming it back just yet, so I'm leaving it there. Now to combine them, we have the combiner parts right here. This comes with it. So this is what comes with this one. These parts came with these ones. We'll move the arms off to the side, and we're actually going to move these off to the side, and we're going to start with this for the combined mode. So pulling it up a bit more. We're probably going to need to pull up a lot. But first thing we're going to do is split this guy. Now these are all put in this mode in my previous videos, and I've just been building up to this. That's been my ultimate goal in all of this, all this time, was to get this in combined mode, and I just messed that leg up. Alright, so we're going to put this in here and just close it up on itself, and the thing is that Magic Square plastic, you just trust it. You just push hard and make it happen, and hope it comes out okay in the end. And that's kind of where I went wrong. I should have just done it right away and just pushed hard. And there it is. Now I hope I can get everything back tabbed together so it has stability and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, there is the first leg. And kind of fumbling with all this stuff. And I will be continually fumbling with it till I get it all just right. Alright, so next we're going to bring this guy in. We're going to pop off the ball there. The mixing barrel. And come to find out, people are saying that the small mixing barrel that came with it, I didn't know what it came with when I did that review, that it was actually for bot mode, so you have that kind of mass shifting down on the barrel. And I guess that makes some sense. So push this back into place, and it's funny how it's harder to go in the second time. Should be easier to go in the second time. You've already kind of widened that hole a little bit. But yeah, that's kind of how that's going to go. Alright, now with the torso done and out of the way, we need to get on to this guy. And so this guy is going to see some changes made to his new form. And we're going to de-transform it, which sucks that we are going to do that. But that's just the way it is. So it's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess you could say. So this is going to come back from, okay, the tires untab right there, and then come around, and then the rest of this is going to fold back and try to keep it all together, which which I guess is what I did wrong. Not keeping it together. Get it together, Mike. So now the ultimate goal on this is kind of close this all up. So there's a couple things that we're going to do. Fold this down into here. We're going to fold this down, and this down. Fold this back up, fold this down. Let's get the wheel done. I think that wheel doesn't really affect this part, but let's go ahead and do it anyway. And then we can fold this down. And so the whole ultimate goal here is to kind of convert it into a short bed. It's a short bed is kind of what you're doing with it. So you're making that a short bed. And then you're going to pull these arms out. And they're going to come around. We're going to lift this up. And I believe we're going to fold that down too. And we're going to lift this up and we're going to fold that down too. And we are going to close this and turn it out to create a new connection point and another connection point there. And then this is going to go to the back. Something like so for now. Just for now. And then we're going to need to bring it in and do some connecting. Now we want to tab it back in the way it was originally tabbed in. So we need to get that situated. So this is going to tab in like this, like we had it before. And so that solidifies that piece. All right, so we are going to have this like this, lift this up out of the way, and our goal is to connect into here. So connect this. And that's a nice tight connection right there. Then you're going to do a couple of things to true it up. Get the arms out of the way a bit. This is going to come down here. And tab in. That's tab there. Okay, so get these arms pushed in, and then this is going to come down and tab. There's a tab here and a slot in the arms. So there's another connection point to make it trued up, more tight. And then this is going to come up. And then you're going to bring this up here and try to fold all this around. Make sure your wheels are in all of the way. And then you have tabs here on this side and a tab on this side. Am I showing that? Tabs. Tab and tab. Make sure everything's still staying tabbed together. And here's where we are currently. We are going to set this aside for a second, and then we're going to get back to it. Let's go ahead and transform this. So we need to disconnect this piece here and this piece here, and then it's just going to come around. It extends all the way like so. Bring it all the way around to tab this slot to that hole. Then we can slide this bad boy over, fold this out, and then this will tab into here. Right there, that will tab in, and then this thing can fold over like so. And I'm not sure, I don't think that's really going to be necessary for this to tab in, but and then we can fold this over too. Depending on how you want it, how it looks, what looks better, but this is a connection point. So, all right, so we're trying to get this ready to connect arms to. So we're going to have to split this over here and then kind of untransform it a bit, which sucks, but that's just the way it goes with this guy. Remember that slider we saw earlier? And then lift this piece here up. Come on, go up. And then we're going to bring this out. It's not wanting to go out. All right, here you go. We're going to bring this out. We're going to bring this down. And then we're going to be able to slide an arm into here. And then slide an arm into here. And so that's how we're going to do it. So we're going to bring this up and plug it into here and into here. So make sure it's all level. Everything's working. And let me try to adjust this camera so we can see it right. So we're going to bring this in and tab this in. Now this is going to take one of those like tremendous amounts of force. And with that I untabbed some stuff over here, which is fine. And then we're going to need to tab this one in to this hole here. So you have to get it aligned and give it some force. It's making stuff untab. And I don't like that about this. That's something I don't like about this. So I'm probably going to have to do this off camera because this is going to take so much force to get in this hole. And it's making everything come undone. Now I did that off camera. Now remember, you're going to use some force, but you're also going to use finesse. You're not going to just be crazy with it or anything. There's no need for that. Getting this in here, we are going to put this, adjust it right to where this will, I guess we can slide that into here and then close that up. And then we are going to put this back up in front of this to support it so it can move around a little bit more and all of that. Then we got to get the other side, put the other arm on. So this is going to slide into here. And then we're going to close it all up. So slide it in. Then we got to rebuild this whole section again, but it's going to be pretty solid once we do it. Okay, remember, get that out of the way. Fold this around, all the way around to go into here. Again, like we've had before, and then this is going to fold down and screw all that up. And then we're going to slide the slider in, reattach all that. And we're almost there. Building Devastator. Feels like I built a Devastator a week, huh? No, not exactly. And we got this part. So it's going to go in and just fill some gaps and stuff. So plug it on there. So this is the best angle. So you want to have these kind of laying flat. And they originally were like this, but you want them like this. And then so what you're going to do is you're going to kind of feed this in like so. And then the first thing you want to do is kind of get the neck in place, which is going to be very beneficial and helpful to have that neck in place, I think. Then there's a tab right here on the purple and a slot right there. So that kind of gets everything positioned properly. From there, you can go around and tab this in. There is a tab here and a slot there. So the black pipe underneath it, it tabs in like that. I don't know if it's getting on camera very well. Then over here, let's see. There's got to be some tabbing going on here. There's a tab that tabs. It looks like there's a tab right here that tabs into here. Looks like it. So, let's see if I can get that to line up. Looks like it might rub some paint off. I don't think I'm getting that on camera very well, but anyhow. This is where you can't even see what's going on. So, you got to hope it's tabbing. If it holds in place, you know you got it tabbed in. I think. And this other side came untabbed. So, it's not a firm tab. Anyhow, it's not a big deal. Oh, yeah. These pieces back here, by the way, these silver pieces can tab back in too. So, okay. And then we've got to see this neck piece will tab into there. So we can just kind of close that up and tab that in. And I think we're pretty close to being there. I'm going to have to go around and just make sure everything is tabbed in and looking right. And we'll be back. Here we are with Devastator in his combine mode. He's absolutely the greatest combiner ever made by any company and any combiner. Magic Square has absolutely outdone themselves on this. Just kidding. No, it looks good. It looks pretty good, but it's not perfect. There are some issues with it. I'm having a little bit of stability in the right leg and issues there, but I think a lot of it has to do with the way they did the articulation in the ankle, and that is an issue. But some of the tabs like to come untabbed, but overall, it looks good. It stands, it poses, So it's not a bad combined mode at all, but it's not perfect. And I kind of had that kind of gut feeling. There was just so many fiddly little tabs in every single bot, and some of it comes together really solid, some of it's a little bit loose. But let's have a good look at this guy. Okay, so here he is. There's his face, his nice head sculpt. He has a secondary head, which we will show here in just a second. I do kind of like the way they have this glass, this transparent purple piece showing through, kind of like you can see some gear and stuff going on there, some electronics and things going on in there. And then we have some nice detail here. This tab likes to slide out on me a little bit. You do have some shoulder articulation out to, that's probably as far out as it's going to go, and it does kind of flip around, and that's pretty good. Head side to side, up. It's got its own articulation, but see, this pops out as you're messing with the head, so that's kind of an issue. I would say definitely say it's kind of an issue. And then we get over here, we've got some bicep swivel, and then we have double jointed elbows, which you get quite a bit of range. I like the hands. Of course, the hands themselves, they don't have to do much. We could fold them in there and do some stuff with the saw blade here in a second. We're going to look at that. We're going to look at the accessories. I do like the magic square. Works in, of course, the ab crunch, and we have the waist swivel. And it's good that they did use the parts forming, at least for the torso. And Magic Square went, not Magic Square, but New Age went all the way and did a lot more with the parts forming. You do have these hip flaps right here, and so it comes out to here. That's a soft ratchet, and then a hard ratchet out to the side, and there's that. So it's got some stability in the waist. And then you have the thigh swivel down here, which is nice, and these pieces come off. We'll look at that here in just a bit. And then we got double jointed knees, which is great, and that works very well. And then you have articulation in the ankleage area, so you can get some range for some poses on this guy, and that's pretty good. As for accessories, you basically have some options here, and so I'm not going to do everything that you can do with this guy because I don't want to. I don't want the look of it, and B, I don't think everything's going to go back the way it should. But you can put this waist cod piece on there if you want to. You can pull this off, and then when you slide this on, you're actually not sliding it on in its spot. What you're doing is you're sliding it on up here, but you have to take this purple piece off and slide it up and all that, and then pull this off. I'm not going to go that far because I like the way this looks, and I have this gut feeling that something's just not gonna fit back right the way it was when I'm done, and so for that I don't really want to mess with it. So that's kind of my stance on that. Next up, you can swap the head out if you choose to do so. You just pop it off. Oh wow, sounds easy, doesn't it? Just pop it off. Come on, there we go. Then there's two tabs, or a tab and a notch, and just tab the other one in. Easy peasy. Now here he is screaming, yelling, "I will destroy you. Superion!" We have the saw piece. It's the obligatory fold the hand in, and when you fold the hand in, it pops this out. You can close that back up. And then you have a saw piece if that's something that you want. And there he is with the saw piece. I think I got to mess around with that thumb. I got the thumb off. Somehow get the thumb in there just right so that it closes all the way and there. But anyway, you can do the saw piece on both hands if you want to. It's a thing you can do. All right, so here he is next to the G1 for the comparison. And I gotta say that the G1 sucks to keep it together. Actually, I thought it sucked when I was a kid. I had some, but I didn't really want to combine it. And it's cool as kind of a novelty for the G1, but we've come so far. But this, as frustrating and annoying as this is, you can still get it together in like 15 or 20 minutes max. This thing, you're a lot off a good hour and a half from start to finish for the whole set. And DX9 Hulky, which was the reigning king for what, 6 years of Legends. Since Legends started, it came out pretty quick and looks good, but not great. This looks great. This actually looks great. So destroys you, Hulky. I do like the color of Hulky. That kind of neon green is what I think of when I think of Devastator. And next to the New Age version, and look at them both side by side. Gotta tell you what I think. So, side by side, I will say New Age just feels lightweight and looks scrawny compared to this one. So, I think that aesthetically, I like the way Magic Square looks better. And this is after owning this guy for a while and putting them together. The experience of putting him together, of putting the New Age together, the experience is so much better with this. I was able to do this all in one video. This took a ton of videos, and I would say most of those videos, every one of the 3 videos was longer than just this one. But of course I didn't do the bot modes on them. But it uses this whole torso as parts. So between the two of them, which one's better? It kind of gets into, I like the color better over here, but I like the design look better over here. I'm not going to flip them back and forth, either one of them back and forth. They're going to stay in combined mode forever for me. So for me, they're both fine. I like that he's a little bit shorter. He'll fit in my display a little bit better. So maybe I can have this one to pull out for comparisons and stuff. So there's a lot of reasons for me to have both of them. But which one do I like better? It's tough. I think it's a 50-50 draw. It's a tie, and it depends on what you want. And the comparison to Megatron, and I do want to say both of them, I feel like they have the size and the aesthetic that you would want out of a Legends Devastator. Both sets are great. Both sets are available at Show Z, TH reviewer code. But yeah, there it is. They both scale well. Alright, so what do I think about this guy? I think he looks great. I think that he is a nice looking Devastator, what we need as an upgrade, and I think that he will definitely work. Price-wise, very similar to the New Age. But it's a lot of work, and some people actually appreciate that. If you're the type of person that appreciates a bit of a challenge or likes to work on transforming your Transformers in a lot of steps or something along those lines, this is for you. I don't. I want quick and easy, and that's what I liked about New Age, and I've been enjoying New Age in combined mode for some time now, and I'll enjoy this one for many, many years to come because he is actually a nice looking combined mode. But the drawbacks, some of the tabs come untabbed, and I can tell you some of it might be my user error, but it is annoying that if you tab something in, something else pops out. And I've noticed that with a couple of other Magic Square ones. But most of the time with Magic Square, when you're done in one mode, it all snaps together. So this is my first Magic Square combiner, but overall, definitely looks good. I recommend them if you want them. If you think this one looks better than New Age, go for it. And I do want to say this too, Magic Square is not one to reissue their stuff all the time like New Age. New Age has like 6 of the same figure character in different colors or slightly different repaints. Magic Square doesn't do this but once every 2 years or so. This is 1 year old. 1 year ago we got the original. Now we're finally getting a repaint, and I don't know if they'll do another one for another year or two. So if you're interested in this, I got a link down below at Show Z where you can get yours. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and Tidarium Hanger out.
No!